I've learned a couple of secrets that have helped me to fight procrastination, and I think they'll help you too. I'm going to give you the 4 steps that I have begun taking that has helped me in my journey of procrastination to help me make progress and see results in getting things done ahead of time. And I've seen a lot of scientific research and studies and videos about all the science behind procrastination. I don't want to get into any of that. All that's relevant is whatever is going to work for you. And I found something that works. It's time to get started with Laban Reeves. Procrastination is like looking at a hurdle, knowing that there's something you got to get over, but you just stand in front of it and just put no effort to jumping it. I understand. I'm the same way. I have a habit of procrastination. It's just like, okay, this deadline is looming. I see it coming, but I find ways to just relax and get my mind off of it. And the burden of carrying this weight of this approaching deadline around is what is really making it so difficult. Sometimes I even feel like I do my best work at the last minute. I hate living day in and day out knowing that I have this thing to do, and I can't even enjoy doing the things that I'm doing when I'm not doing the thing that needs to get done because I'm thinking about the thing that needs to get done. It sucks. The first thing that has worked for me is to begin to picture myself doing it. Now it sounds so silly that if I can see myself doing something, I can get it done. I started to see myself making YouTube videos, and now I'm actually making the YouTube videos. Now, I'll be honest with you, it took months before I actually started to execute it. Part of it is because of procrastination. Another part of it is fear of failure. Another part of perfectionism. But once I was able to see myself doing it, then I was able to start taking steps in that direction. Immediately after picturing myself doing it, I start to think, what's the smallest thing that I could get done that'll just help me to put a notch in whatever it is? And it's not gonna be a big notch. It's not gonna be that. No. When you get the deadline, you wanna get a quick win. Once you get that quick win, you will be able to build momentum. So when I start to get ready to film my YouTube videos, the weight of it, the thought of just filming these videos and are the videos gonna be successful? All of these thoughts are going through my head. But what helped me to actually get it done? What is the smallest thing that I can do when I get ready to film? Oh, let me start by just putting up the lights. So I just take the lights out of the bag, put the light on the light stand, plug it in. And once I set the lights, something strange happens. I'm like, oh, well, I'm here already. I might as well do the next step. And so my adrenaline's rushing, my blood's flowing. I don't know the science behind it, but all of a sudden I started feeling better about doing this thing. And it wasn't such a big deal. Because of your procrastinative nature, you're going to procrastinate on that small thing. But it's okay because it's early, it's way before the deadline, and it's a really small thing. So you're probably going to do it. Now, if you don't get the little thing done, something may really be wrong. Okay, you got a homework assignment with 30 questions. Just do one question. The day I got the assignment, before I leave class or before I leave campus, I'm going to do one problem. And maybe the first one isn't the easiest. Maybe you do number 10 because number 10 is the easiest. Just get it done. Just do one. And you will start to see just a tiny bit of progress. But I believe that that little bit of progress is going to build your momentum to get even more done. And even in that same sitting, maybe you'll sit down and be like, okay, that one was really easy. Man, I got another 10 minutes. Let me knock out a couple more problems. Or, maybe it's a big research project. If you say, okay, maybe I can start by writing down the bullet points of the things I need to research. Okay, that's a really easy thing. So here's another one. I hate writing emails, or if I have to write anything lengthy, I will usually procrastinate before I get it done. But if I know that it needs to get done in a timely fashion, what I do is instead of trying to write the email, I start to write, what are the bullet points of the things I need to address in this email? And so if I jot down the bullet points, I'm actually ready in a zone to write the email. And usually I can just start writing the email. The majority of the content is there. I just have to write the niceties. Dear Mr. So-and-so, it's great meeting with you today. As per our discussion, we agreed to, and then I could just take the same bullet points that were just, on the top of my brain because the meeting just finished and just list the bullet points. Hey, let me know if I overlooked anything. Can't wait to hear back from you. Thanks, bye. Email's done. Without this strategy, that same email will take me maybe a couple days. If it's not too urgent, may take like a week, maybe even take 2 weeks. Because there's something in my head that's just telling me that this task is just too overbearing to do, and it really isn't. So I have to find the easiest part of the task that I can do, jump in, immediately get that done, and voila, and I'm making progress. Now, what you want to do is set a deadline for the completion of the entire project that's earlier than when you would normally wait to get it done. So if you wait till the last minute, make sure that the deadline that you set for the completion of the entire project is maybe like a week before if you have a month, or maybe the deadline is a few days before. Now that your blood is flowing, now that you have some forward momentum, making progress towards it, you will actually work more efficiently to meeting your deadline. And here's the beauty of it. You're planning essentially for the fact that you are a procrastinator. So in a worst case scenario, you started early, you've made some progress, and even if you still wait until the last minute to finish, guess what? There's less to do because you're strategizing around your weakness. And then you want to reward yourself. You gotta give yourself a reward. To get these videos done, I rewarded myself with a soda or a pop. Depending on what part of the country or the world you're in, you might call it soda, you might call it pop, or you might just call it what it was. I bought a Pepsi. I'm not getting paid by Pepsi. Pepsi, though, you can hit me up and you can feel free to pay me for advertising your product right now. I said, okay, although I like sodas, but I never drink them, I will reward myself with a soda, a Pepsi tonight if I get the videos done. I drank the Pepsi before I actually did the video, but I got the video done because I had the reward in play. And so everything was working towards building positive momentum to get this thing done. Make sure you celebrate. And maybe you get a reward every time you sit down. And maybe you say, hey, I'm gonna do a small part once a day. And every time you sit down, you do that small part, chances are you'll probably do a lot more than that small part, but you make sure you reward yourself. Now, you guys know that I'm a man of faith. If you've been watching my videos, I always like to throw a scripture in because I believe that scripture really helps us, and the Bible really speaks to some of the things and the struggles that we have in life. And so I have a scripture that I picked out for you today that I want to share with you that may be an encouragement in your journey of fighting procrastination. In Proverbs chapter 12, verse 24, diligent hands will rule, but laziness ends in forced labor. Now, how does that relate to procrastination? If we are diligent in getting started early and making progress, even with the tiny things, that'll build up somewhat of a diligence. And if we're being diligent on the front end, we will be able to manage our time. We'll be able to be in control of the project when it gets done and how it gets done, and have the freedom to be able to do with our time what we want to do because everything is getting done or everything has gotten done. Now, the flip side of it is that laziness will end in forced labor. And you've seen that happen over and over in your life through your fight with procrastination. Your laziness or your reluctance to get started, your reluctance to do things in a timely manner, it leads to you being forced to do it at the last minute. No matter what you want to do on that day before or those couple of days before, you can't do it because you're forced to now do the thing that you've been putting off. But you don't want to be forced to do this thing at the last minute where now you have to clear off your schedule. You have to wipe off everything. You got to just make room, and everybody else may be hanging out, or there's a show that you want to watch or a game that's on, something that you want to do. You can't even do it now because now you're forced. You forced your hand because you chose to be lazy. Don't be lazy. Just get it done. So that thing that you've been putting off, I want you to today set an immediate deadline for when you're going to get the smallest thing done. Drop that in the comments and then come back and let me know whether or not you got it done. You know what to do. If this has been helpful for you, or if you're going to try it out, I want you to like this video. I want you to subscribe. Check out this video that I think is going to pop up right here. I'm Laban Reeves, and now it's time for you to go get started.